Well, it's been a while. Hi, hello, hola, bonjour, guten tag. I don't really have anything for this format. Let's just roll the intro. Indie games, an amazing way for people to make games and tell a story that they want to tell without going through a corporate think tank to please investors with their game. I personally remember learning about indie games through Super Meat Boy, a game that I still unfortunately can't beat. Back in the day, you had to release your game through Steam, GOG, or other PC platforms, or release as homebrew for other consoles if you're into that kind of thing. Now, some games you can get on Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, the PlayStation Vita, Soldier Game. Ciatro, a developer of many indie games inspired by 3D platformers of the late 90s and early 2000s like Banjo-Kazooie and Bing Bing Wahoo 64. They've created 11 games that they've published on platforms such as itch.io and some even on Steam, MacBat 64, Tasty Ramen Episode 1, and Super Kiwi 64. But today, I'll be talking about a chunk of their portfolio, debatably their most popular series, not only in fan reception, but also receiving ports on the Nintendo Switch. Yeah, I guess that's the intro. Let's just roll into the game. Toree 3D, released March 16, 2021, as part of Haunted PS1 for the 2021 demo disc. This is a collective of independent developers that release horror games with a low-poly PlayStation 1 aesthetic, which is very cool to see considering it defined an entire generation of horror before dying out and then being resurrected by Frederick Fazbear V. This game feels like something you'd see in a creepypasta, a weird, obscure game with a name scribbled on it at a yard sale for $2 from the local creep, and then your console explodes by the end. There isn't much in terms of story, mainly just contextual clues given through the first level where Toree, a little duck wearing pink sunglasses, and a strange glitched reaper in the second game called Glitchy, has an ice cream cone. So by my logical deduction, perhaps the ice cream is stolen? Yeah, that's about all I got. From there, the game lets you decide what level you want to play out of the 8 levels in any order you please before proceeding to the final level. These 8 levels consist of 4 unique themes, each with their own gimmicks. 2 levels are running across high-rise rooftops and across platforms on cranes that swing, avoiding the local bee and duck population, as well as the local star population. Okay, that's a little creepy, but surely can't get much. Okay, moving on. The next set of levels are ocean-themed, reminding me a lot of Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2. The main mechanic of these levels are the wind gusts, which are seen in most levels, however they're more designed for vertical platforming in the level designs. The next few levels are snow-themed, with everything we love: crystals, slides to slide down, ice physics. Okay, they can't all be winners. Even some snowballs. So then there was hyper-realistic urine in the snow. The last level theme is a neon modern theme, jumping from car to car, a scenery that would fit right in Sonic Adventure. I can't use that comparison again. Overall, the gameplay is very solid, a mix of cool world design and gameplay that feels tight and that you always have control to make fun but punishing gameplay trying to get the best ranks. On top of this, there are collectible stars in every level that you can collect, not required for ranks, but they do unlock an extra playable character. We'll come back to this. The soundtrack of Toree 3D is absolutely phenomenal. Each theme has its own song, blending well with the game's sounds and glitch distortions that happen. In case you forgot, every copy of Toree 3D is personalized. Please support the developers and the artists behind these tracks by purchasing the soundtrack and the game. Links will be in the description for both the Bandcamp and the Steam page for the game. In terms of replay value, honestly that's kind of where the game is lacking. Aside from doing time trials for ranks or attempting to speedrun the game, its 9 levels would take the average player about 20 minutes to finish. However, there are some bonuses if you dedicate to finishing the game. Collecting all the stars will unlock MacBat, the titular star of MacBat 64. He can fly. Yeah, he's fat, he can fly. This is mainly just a developer cameo for his other games, including the other one for beating every level with an A rank to unlock Tasty from Tasty Ramen. Episode 2 coming soon. Maybe. I don't know. They can run much faster, creating more interesting platforming and even skipping portions of levels. Toree 3D is a short but lovable game that you really can't complain for since it only costs 99 cents and I feel deserves the score of a 9 out of 10. So, before we get to the next game, I'm looking at you, yes, you, behind the screen. Thanks for sticking with the video. If you're enjoying, I would be flattered if you hit like and subscribe for more videos. I am inside your home. Before we talk about Toree 2, I'm going to make a little detour to talk about an expansion for the original game that was worked on during the development of 2. Toree 3D Jumble Jam released on October 15th of the same year, a whole 2 weeks after the release of Toree 2. This free release is a set of harder levels akin to Mario 2 or the Lost Levels if you're not Japanese. Unlike Lost Levels, Jumble Jam is much shorter than the original, half the levels, but where it falls short in levels, it makes up for in length, with more collectibles and more varied designs. These levels are mainly mashups of themes from the first game, so you could say they're jumbled. Okay, I'll stop now. This game's a bit of a jumbled bag. The gameplay is identical to the original game, so it still feels solid. However, I feel the level design may look cool, but actually playing it feels a little cheap at some points, and the amount of collectibles just seems a little extreme for something that doesn't give a reward. Same for the time trials. But overall, I'd say it's still an enjoyable experience, even if I personally died a lot while recording this gameplay. This game is a great remix of the original, especially for something that was made in just a few months and in downtime while they were actually working on Toree 2. I feel this is definitely for more experienced players, and I personally just can't enjoy it as much as I enjoy the original. So for that, I'd have to give it an 8.5. Not too much worse, but at the same time, I just feel like the curve is a little too high. Okay, I'm done with my delay of Jumble Jam. Now it's time for us to talk about September 30th, a mere 6.5 months after the original release, Toree 2 focuses less on the horror factor and is more akin to the mascot platformers that inspired it, but it still has its fair share of scares. The story is pretty much the same. Toree and Glitchy are back in the same old cat and mouse Tom and Jerry game over ice cream, traversing through a set of 9 new levels. Back to the rooftops, however this time we're more focused on running with the newly added dash gates and jumping through these green hoops to zoom far. These mechanics change the game entirely because the dash allows you to actually kill your enemies, making it easier to run faster, not having to worry unless the power-up runs out. Instead of the ocean, we're here at the beach on the water slides and pools, just enjoying a nice mellow. You aren't as bad as the creature from Jak and Daxter, but I still don't like you. Hey look, a space theme. We're running across spaceships, jumping over bottomless pits. I enjoy this theme. It stands out a lot and it feels really good with its use of the dash gates and hoops. And finally, we're here in the Temple of Doom, where we give Toree a little Indiana Jones hat, but much like Harrison Ford, I'm frantically running through the second level so the set piece does not murder me as I climb the tower. This may sound like Toree 3D, but with boost gameplay and new coats of paint on the levels, but it does add an addition that makes it all worth it. That's right, we were graciously given a boss fight. Now it may be a simple boss fight, just dodging attacks and hitting the orbs while they're lower, but it's still a fun challenge to test your platforming skills and dodging as the environment slowly shrinks around you. I adore this attempt, and I really hope that there are future games in the series that will get another boss fight just like this. MacBat and Tasty return, but on top of this, collecting every CD in the game will allow you to play as a playable version of Glitchy who has all of the abilities of every other character. This game also did feature a content update for the holidays with Christmas themed levels. I personally didn't enjoy them as much as the base game, but they're still a fun addition. Toree 2 is a great improvement, but I do feel it could have been better since it wasn't developed in the limitations of Haunted PS1, so my score is still the same, 9 out of 10. Okay, I'm done comparing Toree to Sonic. Oh right, we still have one more game. To celebrate the 31st anniversary of a certain blue hedgehog, Toree Genesis was released on the 23rd of June 2022 as a free itch.io game. It's the shortest game in the series, with 3 levels based on Sonic's aesthetics over the years, including Green Hill Zone, Skydeck, and even a mix of Chemical Plant and Stardust Speedway. There isn't as much that I can add. It plays just like the rest of the series in terms of its gameplay. However, I do feel this game does fall short in its stage design. I personally feel it is lacking the same soul as the other games. I'm not trying to slight the hard work put into the game, I just struggle to enjoy it as much as Toree 1 or Toree 2. It does include little crystal shards to collect in each stage, and seems to have a little extra bonus when you collect all of them, but I feel the level design and placement was a little too messy, and trying to do so doesn't feel as replayable. The music, on the other hand, is phenomenal. Composed by R3, it really captures the soundfile of the Genesis/Mega Drive Sonic games. I will leave a link to the Bandcamp in the description of this video. I enjoyed listening to that soundtrack while working on the script. So, if you enjoy the background tracks in this section, please show your support to the fine folks who make these absolute bombs of tracks. 7 out of 10 for the game. All in all, Toree is a fun franchise that definitely captures the nostalgic feelings it's trying to capture. As a kid who grew up in the 2000s playing games like Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, these are games that I can definitely see myself coming back to every now and then. If you have a couple dollars, a PC or a Nintendo Switch, I'd recommend giving them a shot. I'd love to cover some of Siaktro's other games, but that'll have to wait for another time. I have other videos in the pipeline. Eventually. I might go play RuneScape for a while. Bye. That's the video. Go. Play the outro.